Hi guys, just before I start the video, I just want to put a quick trigger warning out there because even though these stories aren't that triggering, the circumstances which they happen in can be quite triggering and some of the details might upset some of you. So just be careful and watch with caution. If you hear anything or think you're going to hear anything you don't want to hear or that will be distressing, then just switch it off and either come back to it or don't watch it, like, that's fine. But make sure you look after yourselves. Alright, thanks. Enjoy. Hey guys. So today I'm going to do a bit of a different video. I'm going to basically dish the dirt on some NHS and private staff. All of these are healthcare assistants. Obviously I'm not going to tell you where they work or who they are because that would just be irrelevant. But yeah, I thought I've got some pretty ridiculous stories. They're all pretty much things, so this one I'm going to do, I think I've got 4, depends how long it takes me though. They're all things that they shouldn't have done, and I'm going to start with the least kind of bad and end with the worst, so stick around. The first one, it wasn't a had to be there moment, but it was just so awkward and like you could tell that like this guy just did not want to be there. So basically when I got put on my section 2 or 5-2, I can't remember, I think it was my section 2, they have to read you rights when you get put in a section. So they have a big piece of paper, they read you all your rights, what you can and can't do, expect and appeal and all this stuff. And they have to sit and make sure you understand it and ask you questions and just basically convey all this information, which is great. Now the guy that did this was a support worker for me when I did it, well when he did it for me. He was not the best support worker in the world. He would sit on his phone all day, he would just kind of chill, never really spoke to anyone. It was kind of like he was a patient, but a really awkward one at that. Like he just was like so socially awkward, which is fine, but in that kind of job you need to have people skills. So he was kind of reading me these rights and he was kind of around like this. It was like he just wasn't looking at me. I swear to God I could have walked out the room and he wouldn't have realised. And it was just one of those experiences where you just think, oh my God, can the ground swallow me up whole? Like this is awful. I was like, I don't even care about my fucking rights, like give me the piece of paper and I'll read them. But it was just awful. Like I was just trying to make conversation kind of while he was going through these and it just wasn't working. It was just the most awkward experience and it took like 20 minutes. It was just bad. It was so bad. The second one, so basically when I got taken to hospital for an overdose while I was inpatient, because I was inpatient and on a section, they had to someone had to come with me to the hospital. So these staff members were kind of rotating around and one of them came on probably about midnight, maybe just before. I think it was so I'd gone in at like 7 in the evening, so it was midnight that night. So I started my drip, I just finished being like really sick and I just felt crap, like I felt so horrible and I was tired from the day and tired from being so ill. I literally just wanted to go to sleep. I just felt like absolute shit. I felt like death warmed up. And this healthcare assistant who came onto my one-to-one, so she was a bit of a religious nut, which I have absolutely no problem with. This is not me saying you shouldn't be religious and you should tell no one about your views, but from the moment she came on at 12 o'clock at night, the staff member left and she started talking to me about how I shouldn't have done this because I'm a child of God, and I kind of thought, you know, you're preaching your views, that's fine. And then it was 3 hours later at 3 o'clock in the morning and she was still going, and she was basically saying, she was going on about Satan and like Judas and telling me like Bible paragraphs and saying how I should have faith in God and all this stuff. And then finally she like made me say a prayer with her and let me go to sleep. But it was one of those things where she kind of slowed down her speech and like I think, oh my God, she's finally stopped talking, and then she'd start something else and I was like, oh my God, like I was so tired, I was literally like dropping off, and I kept like dropping hints as well. I was like, oh, this is a good bedtime story, like, oh my god, I'm so tired, this has been such a busy day, like, oh, they're probably going to wake me up really early in the morning, like dropping loads of hints that I really just wanted to go to sleep, and I didn't care about all this shit she was like saying. I just didn't care at all. Like, I might have cared a little bit more if it had been a normal day, but I was so tired and so ill, I just couldn't like even deal with it. It was so much. So that was me for 3 hours in A&E, and God knows how the rest of the people around me felt, because there was a bay of like 4 people, so they must have been able to hear this woman as well. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my god, they're all going to hate me so much in the morning, she's going to go home and I'm still going to be here and have to deal with all these people that we've kept awake. Like, it was awful. But now I can basically read to you any Bible paragraph that you ask and explain the role of Satan. It just went on forever. Another one that's not as funny, it's not funny, but it was just horrendous. Like, it was so badly dealt with. So basically, I had self-harmed in my room at the hospital. And we had this room called a de-escalation room. So basically, if someone was really wound up or someone had done something, a staff member's supposed to go into the de-escalation room with them and sit and calm them down and like maybe play a game or talk to them or distract them or wait for PRN to kick in. That didn't happen. This support worker, who actually was normally very good, like, I really do like her, she found me self-harming, didn't really do anything about it, didn't take anything away, didn't say, is it clean or anything like that, didn't do the normal stuff. Walked away, I continued. She came back 5 minutes later and she went, you need to go to de-escalation. And I was like, nah. So she basically fucking drags me out of my room, takes me to de-escalation, and I'm thinking, oh, it'll be fine, like, we get on, you know, we'll have a chat, I'll probably be calmer, like, it'll be fine. No. She chucks me into de-escalation, which is just this empty fucking room with like walls of concrete and this big like plastic chair, kind of like a 136 suite but with even less stuff. So she puts me in this room, she closed the door, and I thought, oh, maybe that's just so other people don't come in and use this room. And then she locked it. She literally fucking locks me in this de-escalation room with a plastic chair and 4 concrete walls, and that was it. And I was like, are you joking? I was like crying my eyes out. So I was like just going ballistic in this fucking room, and like nobody was checking on me. So that was me for an hour, and then she came back after an hour and was like, you can go now. It's like, well, what the hell was the point? Like, I'm more wound up than I was an hour ago. If you'd like kept me sitting on my bathroom floor, I probably would have been calmer by now than I am. Like, it was just so ridiculous. I was like, what are you doing? Like, you just locked me in a concrete room. Like, what the fuck? It was just insane. I've never seen that happen before. I have no idea what was going on. The last one. So this is the 4th one. So, when I was in one of the hospitals, I was having a really bad time and basically had made a kind of self-harm suicide attempt that didn't result in any intervention. Well, it resulted in intervention, but not like hospitals or anything, because I was on 1-to-1, so I couldn't really do much. So I'd locked myself in my bathroom, which they obviously had a key to, but it bought me a couple of minutes, not even that, like 30 seconds. And then this support worker, healthcare assistant person comes in, who, this was on like my first week there, and I still to this day hate her. She came in, she saw me doing what I was doing, she stood over me, and rather than trying to get it off me or stop me or help or talk to me, she just went, you're literally behaving like a child, you're like a spoiled little brat. And I just got up, went fucking ballistic, because I hate it when people talk to me like that. I was like, nah. Got up, pulled this thing off, stopped what I was doing, walked down the corridor with like 4 members of staff fucking following me, because I had like the 1-to-1 and someone else who had like just brought me to my room to calm down. And I think a couple of people who had like brought me from inside, because I tried to go out. So I'd like walk down the corridor, I was like, I'm fucking off, like I'm leaving. You want to see a spoiled little brat? I'll give you a fucking spoiled little brat. Like, just went off my head. And then she spent the entire evening apologising, and I was like, yeah, that was a really shitty thing to say, like, you should really be careful what you say to people. And then when I actually left the hospital, I wrote in my feedback form, because I wasn't the only one that she'd said stuff like that to. She said some really insensitive stuff to a lot of people. So I wrote that in my feedback form in the like things to improve on section. And then when I got readmitted, like a couple of weeks ago, I saw her, she was like, I saw what you wrote about me on your feedback form, I thought we'd forgiven and forgotten. I was like, well, we haven't. She was like, that was really traumatic for me to watch. And I was like, oh, it's traumatic for you to watch. You want to see traumatic, you want to get in here, like, fuck off. Yes, so that's my bitching of NHS and private healthcare assistants and support workers. I could probably make a million of these. So yeah, I thought that was a good mix, but I have zillions of these stories. I probably have better ones, but I kind of just decided for these four. I remember them the best. But yeah, if you'd like to see more videos like this, give it a thumbs up and comment below and let me know what you want to see. My links are in the description as always, and I hope you're all doing very well. I will speak to you all soon. Alright, bye.